Ladies and gentlemen, what is up, and welcome to today's announcement slash behind the Seatin video about Labyrinth of Legends. So one of the things that we decided to do relatively spontaneously was actually yesterday evening. We started up the second path in Labyrinth of Legends, and we are making waves on that path. We're currently like 13 out of 18 bosses down. We've dealt with some huge BS fights already, and it's feeling pretty damn good. You know, I'm playing significantly better than my first run in Labyrinth, but the site is set on doing Labyrinth of Legends 100% kind of over the course of the next couple of months. Like, I'd really like to get it down. I'm probably gonna need to do, like, after it's probably gonna be a 5 or 6 runs after the run that we're doing at the moment to get 100%, and there are some really bad fights that I still have left to do. We've taken down some pretty BS ones at the moment, but there are even worse ones to check off that list, and we're going to be talking about those a little bit today as we go through kind of all the enigmatic, super hard bosses in Labyrinth, and talk about all the fun stuff they do and kind of my various plans to deal with them. But anyway, let's talk about kind of the reason why we're going for Labyrinth. So, I think while I was out in California, I was watching like a lot of YouTube videos from different content creators, and I really got inspired by Resident and also the Analyzer to kind of, you know, initially like have that look at, you know, what doing 100% Labyrinth is like and some of the bosses, because you'll read some of these notes and go like, this is absolutely insane, how do you deal with that? So I've really been enjoying a lot of their videos on kind of you know, boss killing and just watching them kind of like slug their way through it. So I really enjoyed that, but the passion was really ignited when watching the Legend of Bobbin's stream. I think it was Thursday evening, right, where he just did his first run of Labyrinth live, and it was just such a great atmosphere in the stream, and it was probably one of the most enjoyable live streams from any game that I've ever tuned into. So it was kind of like a mixture of two things bubbling up, because one of the things that really knocked me down earlier this year is when I first did Labyrinth. I tried to live stream it, but I just had no confidence at all, and I just completely screwed up. I wasn't quite ready to do the Labyrinth at that point. So this kind of is, you know, the reason I'm gunning for 100% in Labyrinth is kind of a mixture of two reasons, alongside the rewards, obviously. The first one is, as one of kind of the most active and enthusiastic Marvel Contest of Champions YouTubers, like we do so many videos on the game, I want to make sure that I am the best player I can possibly be. And while Labyrinth has a lot of BS, you know, going through all of these fights, there is a lot of fights that you really do need to skill up, and the fights just dying and dying over again and learning various lessons in them makes you a better player. And it's a really time consuming, it's a really expensive thing to do, but to become the best possible player I can be, I think it's definitely something that needs to come off the list. And then the second one is live stream confidence. So all of the 13 bosses that we've taken down so far in this run, we're going to kill the last 5 tomorrow. So if you want to tune into like Ultron, Venom, Civil Warrior, and Iron Fist and Maestro, that's a little bit of a plug there for tomorrow afternoon. Don't know exactly what time yet, but yeah, it's really all about live stream confidence as well, because doing 100%, I want to do it live because it was just such a great time in Bobbin's stream. You know, Thursday evening, that I thought, you know, let's go for 100%. Let's get everybody involved in this experience, and it has been great so far. The first live stream, I was a little bit nervous for the first few fights, but we managed to get 8 bosses down in 2 hours. We managed to rinse all the way up to Cyclops, and despite like so many of the kills were really fun once we get chat involved and everybody was really engaged in the stream. So yeah, I think this is kind of like, it's kind of a mixture. Like, the two core reasons alongside the rewards is I want to become a better player, and also I want, you know, more confidence in doing like difficult content live, so that when new challenges come out, such as Act 5, and I imagine like the final few chapters in that are going to be ridiculous, we are just there, we're ready, we're playing at our best, and it doesn't really matter too much if we screw up, you know, because we're just going to pick ourselves back up and like chuck ourselves back into the fight. So yeah, above all of the rewards, those are kind of like the two big reasons that I'm doing it, but simultaneously, the rewards for doing 100%, if I can get that down, are pretty insane. You get like 45,000 5-star shards, so that's potentially like free tries at Iceman when he comes around. You know, it really depends how some of the progression goes, but maybe we might also have like potentially, we're sitting on 30k shards at the moment, so that could possibly be like 5 tries at Carnage if he's really good. But yeah, it really depends how kind of everything goes with this run and stuff. And one of the ideas to kind of fund this run as well is like it's still going to be like a lot of units spent. Like even in the best case scenario, there are some fights that just eat through units. So one of the things to also look out for is like I always get so many like brand deals through. So I'm actually going to take a couple of those. So it's where we do like a sponsored video where I'll play like a game for like 10 minutes and stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And those pay pretty nicely. So doing a couple of those actually like pretty much funds my entire Labyrinth run. So yeah, guys, if you do see those videos pop up on the channel, which you probably are going to see a couple of them in the next like 2 or so weeks, be sure to like just smack a like and comment on them. Just you know, make them look pretty good, because then I can get some juicier brand deals in the future to pay for more wonderful, fun, interactive Marvel Contest of Champions content. But anyway, this is a huge map of the Labyrinth of Legends. Just to see what we're in store for. So there are many paths in it, but we're going to zoom in and talk about some of the champions. So basically any character outside of the easy path, and the easy path is just kind of the outskirts, has about anywhere between about 2.6 million to 3.4 million health, and also an enigmatic ability, which basically gives them something a little bit extra. And I wanted to go over all of the exciting stuff that you're going to be seeing on the channel soon with the Labyrinth. So enigmatics, let's actually make this a little bit bigger, zoom in even more so we can go through the list. So Abomination, basically, the start of the fight will excrete a poison that has a 100% chance to permanently poison the opponent for 25% of his attack, so you need to use a poison immune champion on Abomination. That's pretty much the one there. So my workaround for that is probably going to be Hyperion. Like, I don't really have a great 5-star option at rank 3, so I think Hyperion is going to be my best bet for that fight. Abomination, I don't think it's going to be too bad there. We have Agent Venom, so throughout the fight, when combatants strike their opponent, they apply a timer that lasts 3 seconds, and the only way to remove this timer is to strike back and transfer it to the attack combatant. So if the timer runs out, the combatant with the timer receives a debuff that incinerates 25% of the opponent health as direct damage over 3 seconds. So basically, you need to play very aggressively on Agent Venom by the look of it. I don't know how BS this is, but I've heard it's pretty bad. So providing we can play really aggressively on that fight and nail our intercepts, and I think definitely on the stream today, we definitely like upskilled quite a bit in intercepting. You know, I'm kind of like relatively optimistic that that fight's not going to be complete trash, but we'll see how it is. Then we have Black Panther Civil War. At the beginning of the fight, Black Panther receives physical and energy resistance buffs, and every 10 attacks on Black Panther, the resistance buffs are removed for 10 seconds. So that isn't really too bad. He just takes less damage. Shouldn't be too bad to fight. If we're good at intercepting, if we're good at baiting the specials, not too bad. Black Widow. So we fought Black Widow today. If you want to see that, the stream will be available on demand soon. When Black Widow activates a special 1 or 2, she receives an electric barrier for 3 seconds. And if you attack her while she has that barrier active, she is stunned for 2 seconds. So this basically means on Black Widow, you can't attack. There's no window of opportunity. It's very much like unstoppable, the electric barrier. So you got to think of it like that. So the only ways to get you in on Black Widow are either bait the heavy attacks, intercept, or parry and then attack in. And the parries, they're not too bad on Black Widow at all. But yeah, she's a bit of a pain for that. It's basically like fighting a huge unstoppable Colossus for the most part, which plays a little bit more aggressively. So it was a fun fight. It's certainly a challenge, but I enjoyed it. Then we have Colossus. Colossus is easy, so easy. It's just when blocking a special 1 or 2, Colossus reflects his opponent's attack damage back. So yeah, if he's blocking and use a special 1 or a special 2, you die. So don't do that. But ideally, sometimes there are scenarios where you'll fire off a special, like Star-Lord. He'll evade the first component of it, and then he'll block and reflect the damage back. So that's a bit of a pain. And then we have Cyclops blue team, so that we actually ended up fighting him today. This fight is insane. Like, you need to just be like a god tier interceptor, like a crazy player, and I'm very proud of my 99 combo. But basically, when he reaches 1 bar of power, Cyclops becomes unblockable until he attacks his opponent or reaches 2 bars of power. This means, like, basically you cannot block, you cannot parry, you need to intercept and bait that special 1 to get you in. It's so tricky to do, because the special 1 on Cyclops, it's very easy to get clipped. And also, in terms of intercepting, like, even the best interceptors, they still mess up occasionally. So it's a very difficult fight to master. Very happy we got a 99 combo on it. I said to myself, you know, if we can get anything over like 80, I'm going to be pretty damn happy with that. But it was a tough fight. A lot of revives used for that one. But I'm glad it's down. And then we have Daredevil Netflix. So while opponents of Daredevil are blocking, they take degeneration damage every second equal to the percentage of their health lost. This one doesn't seem too bad to deal with at all. Basically, you just can't hold block. That's pretty much it. So yeah, not really too dreading Daredevil Netflix. I think he should be alright. So Doctor Strange, when blocked, Doctor Strange steals 5% power from his opponent. I don't think Doctor Strange is going to be too bad, but he might be a bit of a pain. Like, he's one of those ones in the middle where I think we can manage him, but he's still going to be a bit annoying to fight. And then we have Electro. Not looking forward to Electro. I'm probably going to have to build a team around Electro to get this fight down. But every 15 seconds, like this Electro, I think he's probably there are no fights at all of Labyrinth Electro on YouTube. So the live stream is certainly going to be very fun when we get around to it. It's just going to be like a massive like paywall essentially. But every 15 seconds, Electrostatic Shock, which is the damage back ability, is enhanced for 5 seconds. Not looking forward to that. That's really going to suck. But maybe Electro won't be too bad with Electro, but we'll see what's up. And then we have Groot. So Groot begins regeneration upon enemies activating their regeneration buffs. So yeah, basically if you use a champion that has regular regen, Groot regens. So he shouldn't be too much of a problem. I'm not too sure if I'm going to use Star-Lord or Voodoo for Groot. It's probably going to be Star-Lord, because it doesn't really make sense to bring Voodoo just for one fight. But we'll see. We'll have a little bit of a think about it. Guillotine, exact same ability as Abomination, but with bleed, so you need to use a bleed immune champion. I don't really have a great bleed immune option that deals a ton of damage, so it's probably going to be like bringing up my 550 Ultron, and we're going to have to slug it out. It's going to be a bit of a pain, but you know, we'll get it done with Guillotine. Like, it's not BS, it's just a pain because we have to use a pretty gimped character. In terms of damage, you know, Guillotine's going to have like 3.4 million. It's a lot to chip through. And then we have Hulkbuster. So while blocking, Hulkbuster reflects direct damage that increases exponentially in power with every attack blocked. To be honest, I think it's just don't hit into a blocking Hulkbuster, so it shouldn't be too bad at all. We just need to bait the SB1s, be good on the intercept there. We can still parry. Like, Hulkbuster, I think it's going to be fine. Now, Juggernaut. Juggernaut, if you don't have Gwenpool, I feel like is 1,000,000% BS. I watched the Analyzer's video where he didn't have Gwenpool, he went for it, and Juggernaut's unstoppable last until he is attacked with a heavy attack. So basically, anytime he triggers unstoppable off his SB1, SB2, it won't go away until you parry and then heavy attack him. However, with Gwenpool, the strategy is to get her to the special 2 and then just play aggressively so that you can just keep up the bleeds, keep up the damage there, so you don't need to worry about that. So that's a bit of a workaround for Juggernaut there. I think it's going to make that fight significantly easier. But yeah, I'm not too worried about Juggernaut now that we have Gwenpool, but we'll see what's up. Then we have Maestro. So Maestro, if you're not familiar with Maestro, we'll talk about this. So at the start of every fight, Maestro will change his class abilities depending on his opponent. So Mystic, you have like applies different debuffs depending on specific actions taken by Maestro and his opponent. So I actually don't know what these debuffs are. I've never seen a Mystic Maestro kill, but it seems like it would be pretty BS. I think the best characters to do it are Cosmic and Mutant. So Cosmic will basically make Maestro's special attacks nullify, which, you know, has no relevance to the fight. That's a free pass there. Quite a good matchup for Cosmic characters. That's why Drax and Captain Marvel, they're quite good for people who want to do one Labyrinth run. Tech, this is the BS, guys. This is when you're fighting with Star-Lord. He will receive random buffs throughout the fight. So those buffs can be, they can be stuff like increased like crit chance and attack and stuff like that, but the real BS stuff is the regeneration. If the regeneration starts, it's like 20k every second, so you just need to quit out. There's nothing else you can do. Also unstoppable, 15 seconds, power flood. Not looking forward to fighting Maestro again tomorrow. Like, he ain't too much of a fun fight, but I don't know, it's very satisfying baiting that special one, so that ain't too bad. Mutant, power drain when blocked and receives armor up when activating a special 1 or 2. Mutant, again, really easy matchup, much like Cosmic, so you don't need to worry too much there. And then skill reduces opponent effect accuracy when attacked. Like, this one ain't too bad, to be honest. It just reduces, like, the chance of something like a bleed proccing with a skill opponent. So, you know, if you're using a skill champion, like, it's not too bad. And then Science shrugs off debuffs. I've never seen a Science kill, but I imagine, you know, if it's an instant shrug off, you're not going to be able to parry. That might be some BS there, but I'm not entirely sure about that one. But yeah, so Maestro has all those fun abilities. Magneto doesn't seem bad, actually. So Magneto begins the fight with 1 bar of power. And enemies reliant on metal suffer 100% reduced ability accuracy and a stun for 5 seconds. So for, you know, a Star-Lord, that's just going to be Magneto starts the fight with 1 bar of power. So, you know, providing we have our evades on point, that's going to be, like, pretty easy to deal with, hopefully. So not too much BS there. So when Moon Knight activates his special attack, we're on to Moon Knight now. Each attack that makes contact with his opponent, a degeneration stack is applied that deals 0.1% direct damage every second. So I'm not too sure if that goes through a block, but it doesn't seem too bad. Like, if we can get Moon Knight to his special 2 and play very aggressively there, like Moon Knight, shouldn't be too troublesome. Then we have Kamala Khan. I'm not too sure if you can parry Kamala Khan, so it says Miss Marvel has a 100% chance to convert a debuff into a Fury stack, increasing her attack by 10%. And a Fury stack is removed with any special attack. So yeah, I don't know if you're going to parry her, if that's not going to work, but Miss Marvel, bait the special 1, intercept, bait those heavy attacks. It shouldn't be too bad. And then we have Rhino, so Rhino has 90% physical resistance and takes no damage from physical-based special 1 or 2. I think Rhino might be a little bit of a problem, but I think when we go for the Rhino path, we're also going to do Gwenpool. If we can get Juggernaut and Rhino, I need to double-check that path, but it shouldn't be bad at all. Like, we should have a pretty decent matchup there, because Gwenpool, you know, she can get a lot of damage out via the bleeds, so might not be too bad, but we'll see what's up. Then Rocket Raccoon, so upon reaching 2 bars of power, Rocket becomes unblockable until he attacks his opponent or is attacked with a heavy attack. I guess the plan on Rocket is just kind of wait till the double dash back is fixed and then just bait the special 1. I think that's the thing to go for there. And then we have Spider-Man. Spider-Man has, like, I think it's like 3.4 million health, guys. And we'll start with a 100% chance to evade passive, and that is removed when he becomes stunned, and the evade passive returns when Spider-Man activates his special 2. Seems like a lot of BS there. A lot of BS. Miles Morales next up. When Miles loses all of his evasion charges, he gains Fury, Cruelty, Precision, and Resistances. These enhancements are removed whenever you activate a special and give him more evade chances back. We did Miles Morales early on stream. It wasn't that bad, actually. We got over 100 combo a few times, so he wasn't too bad. But the evade, like, it's just... I hate the evade mechanic in this game. It's so bad. But yeah, Miles Morales ain't too bad. Star-Lord, nothing really to worry about as Star-Lord as well. Every 15 blocked attacks, Star-Lord receives a permanent Fury stack, but you never need to worry about that. It's just bait the SP1, like very easy to do. 4, when attacked, 4 has a 5% chance to apply a stun timer stack up to 3. So if you basically reach like 3 of those stacks, you get stunned for 2 seconds, so you need to stop attacking when you get 2 of them. It's going to be a bit of a slow fight 4, but you know, that ain't too bad. That's manageable for sure. And for Jane Foster, when blocking an attack, 4 shocks her opponent for 100% of her attack over 3 seconds. So yeah, if you attack into a blocked 4 Jane Foster, you are dead. So we need to be very good on the intercepts for that one. That one shouldn't be too bad though, we'll manage there. Ultron, who we are doing tomorrow, going to be the first fight. He has 90% energy resistance and takes no damage from energy-based special 1 or 2 attacks. Ultron, I'm a little bit worried about kind of managing his like 50 and 25% regen, because, you know, it's like 900k health over the course of that regeneration. So we need to make sure we stun like right away, because every tick is going to be 80,000. But I'm not too worried about Ultron. Like, bait the special 1, win the video game. He's playing very aggressively in the state of double evade. It's a little bit BS, but hey, shouldn't be too bad. Then we have Venom Pool, so I'm not really looking forward to Venom Pool. Apparently Venom Pool is one of the worst in the Labyrinth, because he can randomly get a regen that is only a small percentage of his maximum health. But again, when you've got a Venom Pool that has like 3.4 million, that is a lot of healing there. So I'm a little bit hesitant about that fight. That one's certainly going to be a lot of frustration, but we'll get it done, boys, for sure. And then we have the classic version of Vision. Opponents will lose 5% of their power every time they dash backwards, and if they dash backwards with 0 power, they become stunned. Yay! So this, I don't know, this might be fairly manageable to do. But, you know, we need to, I guess we don't really want to use, like, any specials on this fight, because we don't want to risk the chance of becoming stunned and then getting wrecked. But yeah, Vision shouldn't be too bad, I reckon. And then finally, we have Wolverine X-23, who you need to build a specific team around Guillotine for. So every 15 seconds, she will regenerate 5% of her maximum health over 3 seconds. So really, the strategy for Wolverine X-23 is you bring Guillotine, you need to get to that special 2, you need to play very aggressively in 15 seconds, reverse all that healing, and then it's rinse and repeat. So it's quite a few revives to do that, but it's the way you do it. Like, I've seen some full kills. It doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad. Like, we'll manage with that one. But yeah, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're up to at the moment. You know, we're getting the Labyrinth done. That's what we got our sights set on. So yeah, appreciate all of the support on the live stream so far. It's been a lot of fun. I'm very much looking forward to some more of these fights and challenges. Like, it's a mixture of like fights that I think are going to be really fun, really good challenge, and fights that are just going to be a lot of BS, man. So hopefully it shouldn't be too bad. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to smack a like on it. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for watching. If you want a link to this map and also some greater Labyrinth of Legends paths, it will be in the description below if you want to check that out. Apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.